Hi everyone, I'm Rhonda Rumsey and I am an area manager and independent consultant with Arbonne International. And this is my biggest fan, Nathan. And he is just joining me on this little video so he can tell a little bit about how he felt when I first started my Arbonne business. And that's Cooper, our dog, crying because he's not in the video. So we're just gonna go through some of the initial thoughts of how he felt when I first started my Arbonne business, because I think it's important to share that so that people know that they're not alone. So truly, how did you feel when I started my Arbonne business?
I think I'll use the term nervous. I was nervous when I first heard the conversation. I didn't see the presentation, and to be completely honest, I didn't have any understanding as to what network marketing actually was. So there was a lot of confusion and misconception because I immediately thought it was a pyramid scheme, which later I was informed and I was educated that it actually wasn't. In the beginning, I wasn't necessarily a supporter. I wasn't against it, but I was very, very apprehensive at the thought that, this is a big move forward. And I think a lot of that stemmed just from me not knowing enough about what was being presented to Rhonda at the time that, she was meeting up with, who would have been Melanie. So
Melanie Booth is a regional vice president, actually executive regional vice president with Arbonne, and she was the one that introduced me to this business. And when I came home and started talking to Nathan about Arbonne, I was obviously very excited and wanted to jump in, and just was going on and on about all the greatness of the company and just everything that I wanted in life was I was going to get it through Arbonne. So obviously he was kind of like, whoa, slow down. That's a lot of information. Yeah. So fast forward now, I've had my business for a year and a half, and I can say this and kind of sounds cheesy, but it has changed our lives for sure. I know I can say that for myself, and definitely Nathan, you probably think the same. So How has it changed your life since we've started?
There's a lot of different aspects of Arbonne that I didn't know in the beginning. I knew that there was going to be a lot of dedication and time consumption and whatnot, but it's actually it doesn't seem, from an outside perspective, my perspective, it doesn't seem like a job. It is work. You have to put some time in and apply yourself and whatnot. But I've seen a lot of different things change in terms of, Rhonda's going to all these conferences and she's meeting up with all these new people, and the meeting up with new people. That kind of goes with the business, but at the same time, she's made relationships and connections with people who, if it wasn't for Arbonne, probably never would have happened before, or would have been unlikely to happen. So it is, there are times where when she's hosting parties, I'll get out of the house or whatever just so she can do her thing. But being the significant other, it's not bad. It's a good thing. And now we have family and friends who are involved. It's around me. I've been bumping into people at work, and I'll just name drop the Arbonne itself, and people will be like, "Oh my gosh, I love it, I love it, I love it." Or, people will say, "Well, Rhonda does it. Well, I have someone else who does it." It was one of those things where I'd never heard about it before. And then as soon as Melanie brought it into our house, it just kind of exploded. It kind of changed and became a lifestyle. I know that sounds kind of strange to say, but for Rhonda in particular, it's changed what we do. Mm-hmm. It's changed our financials. It changes her social environment. I know that she likes it a lot more. Like, she just went to, what's Dana's last name?
Shalit.
Dana Shalit. She went to she went to a party that Dana had hosted. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it was an Artbound. It was for Artbound, a charity that she's involved with very heavily, and it was amazing. It was just one of the best nights so far this year. It was amazing, and I would have never got to go to that if it wasn't for Arbonne. So I just think it's changed my life, obviously in a financial way, because if you have already seen the Arbonne presentation, you do know that that is a huge part of it. A lot of people are looking for some extra income, and that's a way to you can get that through Arbonne. So it has changed our lives that way. We got a dog, which we wouldn't have been able to afford before. So we have a dog, Cooper, who's our little fur baby. We're able to, back in, when I first started Arbonne, we were able to go away to New York City, just spur of the moment, go away. We go to the cottage. There's a lot of extras that we can do that we didn't have the money to do before. And
not even so much really the money too. I mean, it adds variety. Like, what night was the party? Was it a Monday or Tuesday? Thursday.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
So Thursday night, that night we would have just been, hanging out, doing some errands around the house, maybe watching Netflix. Like, and then I get a phone call from her. She's with one of her team members, and she says, do you mind if I go to this party? And I'm like, absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
For charity.
Yeah, for charity. And at the same time, you ended up meeting a bunch of new people. So and people you already know, but the variety aspect itself, I think, is very, very good.
It's totally scary when you start an Arbonne business. It's super scary, and it was for me. And obviously, you always want the support of your significant other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just encourage everyone to just listen to the opportunity. If you haven't heard the presentation already, definitely take a look at it. If you have someone that's presenting it to you, maybe have them present it to their significant other. That's another option, because for Nathan, he just felt in the dark. He felt like he didn't know really what the opportunity is, and now he knows more.
Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to be supportive. Obviously, you want to be supportive of anybody around you, especially family and friends, right? But to me, I just didn't know enough. And now that I've gone through the process inadvertently because of Rhonda, I have a better understanding of it, and I'm actually more confident in the fact that when I talk to people at work, I have people that I work with who now have been purchasing through Rhonda just through conversations that I've had with them. So I think it's important to be supportive. I mean, it might seem difficult in the beginning because there might be a lack of information. So if you are, in my opinion, and I recommend this to people, if you are reaching out to new, whether it's preferred clients or whether you want to sign them up as a consultant, I think it's very important that you include whoever else is in their immediate lives, so that
they can have all the details.
Yeah, they can have all the details. And I mean, when push comes to shove too, unless you're talking to someone who's absolutely on their own, the person that they're depending on or they're relying on who's around them is going to heavily influence their decision. Mm-hmm. How many people out there have you met where, whether it be husband and wife or, just friends in the household, they've said, I really don't think this is a good idea. And if you're considering being a consultant, that's really going to weigh on your conscience, because you're going to now start to second guess yourself, even though it might be something that you want to do. Other people around you tend to influence you quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So I think it is very important to make sure that not only are you speaking to the consultant or the preferred client, that you also, if they have anybody immediate in their that might affect it, you should talk to them as well and get them involved and in the loop.
Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing too is that everyone, when they're starting something new, it's easy to find all the reasons why you don't want to do it, because what you're doing right now is probably pretty comfortable.
Yep.
So just think about all the reasons that got you excited about Arbonne in the first place, that got you those butterflies and made you dream big, and just hold on to those and just realize that all of those things are way more important than all the reasons why not to start Arbonne. Because if I had have came home and I love you, but when he said to me, oh, that's a pyramid scheme, I wanted to pounce and go nuts, because I knew he was wrong. And if I had listened to that and hadn't said to him, Nathan, can you just actually hear a little bit more about it? And I'm so grateful that he did. But if I didn't go for this opportunity, we would be in the exact same place as we were a year and a half ago, and that's scary to me.
And I mean, we were comfortable at the time in terms of, everything going on around us. We relatively bought into a new house, new vehicle, all this kind of stuff, but it's not the same as it is now.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we're more comfortable, because that's obvious, but just things are different. Mm-hmm. Things are a little bit more fun. And I'm not even the one who's a part of it. I mean, I am on the sideline, but it's all her, right? So
we're just able to dream bigger, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're still comfortable, but we know there's more in the future. We know that we can have whatever we want.
Yeah, it's given us a lot of, it's opened a lot of doors and given us a lot of opportunity. And the people around Rhonda are very inspiring, very creative people. And I know that once you start to surround yourself with people like that, you're only going to see good results.
Yeah, so for sure. Thanks for listening, and we will do more of these videos, and we will chat with you guys soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.
See ya.